Today on Stupid Money, I'm doing something I've been dying to do. I understand you dye carpet?
That's what we do. We would love to see a puppy given away with every rug that's sold.
Okay.
You cannot outgive God. God has been at work with me in this business since the day that I opened the doors.
Have you ever done anything stupid with your money? Have you ever done something stupid with your money? You ever made a guitar out of barnwood?
No, John.
I've always wanted a 4-button jacket.
You're ready to lose?
To the dentist office?
Thank you so very much.
Just a word of warning. In this episode, there's a lot of colorful language. Green and blue, and purple and red. Hello, it's Chris here.
Nice to meet you, John.
You know, this feels really familiar. Last time I was carrying carpet, I was putting it on a truck to take to the dump.
Okay.
But this one's got to do a makeover.
A makeover.
So, I understand you dye carpet?
That's what we do.
I actually never thought about dyeing carpet. Instead of throwing that rug away, dyeing it will give it a second life. What's amazing to me is I walk past your house, past the garden, past the volleyball net. It seemed really unassuming. Lo and behold, in the backyard, here is the world premiere on carpet dyeing. And I was thinking I would like to have a sunburst tie-dyed. Sure. Before we do that, tell me about your shop here. How did a guy get involved as a world premiere carpet dyeing business in the backyard?
That's a question that we're frequently asked, and the simple answer is my dog.
Your dog.
My dog. Dog's name is Lucky, and years ago I brought Lucky home as a puppy, a surprise for my daughter. And Lucky was not house trained, and Lucky promptly did some dyeing of her own on brand new carpet. I tried to fix the problem myself, which I was unable to do, and then I hired other carpet companies to come in to try to fix the problem, and they were unable to fix it as well. So I started doing research to find out if it was possible to maybe dye the carpet, and everybody that I spoke with says no, it can't be done, and it didn't make sense to me. I figured all carpet is dyed in the factory, why can't it be done later? So I continued doing research and eventually found a company that claimed that they could provide these services. I contacted the company and saw a demonstration, and I was convinced. Here we are 18 years later, still doing it, still going strong. I would say probably 90% of the work that we do is a result of
For the pets.
We would love to see a puppy given away with every rug that's sold.
Okay. I want to go on a tour of your shop here.
Mostly what we work on are handmade rugs.
I had no idea there's a difference between carpet and rugs. A carpet is wall to wall. A rug is a piece of art.
This is a handmade Persian Shiraz. When we received this rug, it was very, very faded, none of the vibrant colors that you see now. We've gone through this rug using an airbrush to accentuate and bring out the vibrancy of all of the colors, the reds, the blues, some of the greens that are present.
How long did it take you to do that?
This rug we worked on probably over a period of 2 days.
That's beautiful. Tell me the process. How do you mix all the dye and the ink and everything else?
Basically what we do, we have our dyes here. These are the dyes that we use. They are liquid dyes, and we're going to mix those up with some hot water. Actually have some hot water that's ready to go.
Is this the same as food coloring? I'm starting to feel like I could do a cooking show here.
It's completely different. The process that we're using really hasn't been around very long. It started up back in the early 80s. But we've been doing
researched, you studied it to figure it out?
Hundreds, actually thousands of hours researching, practicing to develop it, because it's definitely an art form. What I'm going to do in order to make up my dye, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a specialized app that we have developed for this process. It allows me to automatically measure the color of the carpet or rug that we're working on. It's not available in the App Store. It's actually only available to people that go through our training courses. We offer carpet and rug dyeing classes all over the country and all over the world. So this is it's a teaching tool that we developed.
Okay. Chris manages his business very well. He's successful. And you don't achieve that type of success without being a good steward. And now he teaches other people how to dye rugs.
The app shows me how much blue I need to use, how much red. It shows me the percentages. And I'm then going to translate that into the actual dye measurements. So I'm going to start with the blue dye. And I need 108 drops.
So this is the critical process.
Very much so. It's not something that you can rush. Got to get some very precise measurements
I'll
here.
be patient. All right, you need 24 red.
24 red.
Can I try my hand at counting?
You want to go for it?
Yeah. So I'm going to try to count out 24 of these, right? Now, what's this?
So this is a product that's called the striking agent. So this little magic potion here is going to help these colors to be permanent. Just stir it up good. So I've got a rug that's on the floor right now that I was getting ready to work on when you arrived. If I can get your help, we'll roll your rug up that you brought, get that out of the way, and then I can show you how our process works.
All right. When I was working on that rug, I had my doubts.
Right out of the way.
But looking at the after pictures, I was totally amazed. It looked brand new.
Life was falling apart. My wife and I were getting a divorce, and I couldn't handle it. Hopelessness filled every waking moment. Then one night, I felt impressed to turn on the TV, and this man was there, preaching about heaven. The sermon was so beautiful, just for me. I cried, but not tears of pain. They were tears of joy. God sent me a message of hope just when I needed it.
Earlier, I joined Chris Howell of Colorful Carpets.
If you look at this rug, you can see that there are quite a number of areas that have color damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to be adding dye to these areas to get them to a closer match with the rest of the rug. Once that's been done, I actually will be going over the entire rug. Let's first test the color that you helped me create here. So this is actually a purple. It looks blue, but we mixed what? We mixed blue and red together.
Well, it looks blue to me, but I'm going to take your cue. It's purple.
There you go. Okay.
So is that color looking good to you?
Well, it looks dark because it's wet. So what I have to do is give it a moment for the fibers to absorb the moisture. And yes, I actually like the way that's looking.
So how long would it take you to do a carpet this size?
Actually, we could probably complete this entire rug. I would say it probably two to 3 hours tops. Yeah.
Wow. So let me see if I can do one of these.
You want to get that so you're almost touching the spot there. And try to keep the dye only within that faded area. We don't want to get any of that color outside of the bleached area.
But it comes out really easy.
It sure does. How would you like to do this entire rug using that syringe? The entire rug to try to recolor it?
We're going to negotiate the price.
It would take a while. So that's why we developed the airbrush. I'd like to show you the airbrush and how we use it.
I got that a little bit on the darker side, didn't I?
It's okay. We're going to be doing the entire rug. So you did well.
What stood out to me on the rug he was working on is how intricate it was. How on earth are you going to dye it and get all those different stains out of there to refurbish it to where it looks like new?
I tried using a regular airbrush. You may have seen some airbrushes that have a little jar on the bottom. The problem is that jar would after a minute or two, would be empty. We would have to take it off and refill it. Then the other problem we were having is we had no way to keep the dye hot. Well, the third and final straw is I was using the airbrush on a rug, and the jar fell off and leaked dye onto the rug, and the customer was furious. I basically had to kind of bleach that color out and then repair the
Start
color.
over.
So this design is not working at all.
So you have made mistakes, or what do you call them? Accidents or
Oh,
opportunities?
we call them mistakes, big mistakes. I've never had to buy a rug. I've had dye leak onto rugs before, and that's probably the worst. It's
Well, that's about all that could go wrong. How many years have you been doing this?
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, and we are now recognized as being the world's leading experts for this. We take care of the carpets and rugs in the White House. We've been flown to Dubai and Abu Dhabi to work in palaces for the royal family.
Watching Chris work, I realized why he was the world expert in dyeing carpet. So do you put your initials on the back of these rugs?
Careful not to do that. We're going to start with just these smaller faded areas first, and then I'm actually going to let you give it a try.
I'll give it a try.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little frame around the outside, and then once I've put a frame around it, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the center. So I've got a little frame there. Now I'm going to fill in the center. This is my favorite part. This is like getting paid to color in a coloring book. So my objective right now is I just want to get the area looking closer. It doesn't have to be a perfect color match at this point. I just want to get it closer.
When he was showing me how to dye the rug, I thought to myself, I could do this.
You're going to just put a frame right around the outside. Try to be careful not to get any of the dye.
So I can see one coming around like that.
Yep,
So
exactly.
like
Just
that.
follow that outer line. You want to be nice and close. That keeps the dye hot. That's looking good. I think I might go take a little nap while you finish this rug for me. Beautiful.
So basically you'll go through this carpet twice.
Think of it this way. If there's a hole in a wall, if you just patch the hole and touch up the paint, you'll probably always see that repair. But if you
Feather it
patch
out.
the hole, then touch up the paint, and then repaint the entire wall, it all blends in. So that's basically what we're going to be doing with this rug.
As I looked at this carpet, I saw white dots. What is that?
So these are the sign of a handmade rug. On the back of the rug, we have the foundation, which is a cotton grid that they weave the fibers through. So what happens when they're making the rug, they're making this foundation, sometimes those cotton yarns will break. Well, rather than throwing it out and starting over, they simply tie it in a knot, trim off the ends, and keep going. Well, over time, as it wears and the fibers become shorter, some of those knots will work
Come
their
through.
way to the surface. It's actually the sign of a handmade rug. It's not considered a flaw. It does bother some people. In fact, the owner of this rug has asked us to make all of these disappear.
I would like that as to be proof that it was handmade, if it was my carpet.
So we're going to be dyeing all of these to make them disappear, but it's actually the sign of a handmade rug.
This is really going to be a beautiful carpet when they're done. I couldn't help but feel good, taking something that was stained and making it look brand new. That's what Jesus does for us. We have stains in our life, and he makes us brand new. What about that piece of carpet I brought over here?
Well, what would you like to do with it?
What I would really like is the show logo, Stupid Money.
I love it. We can do that. We really would need to have a different type of rug, though. The one that you brought is more of a loop weave. You really need a cut pile rug for that.
So you get the rug,
I'll get the rug.
and I hope I haven't done something stupid with my money. Chris told me that the rug I brought wouldn't work, so we came up with Plan B. It's a new day, a new rug. I'm ready to die. Well, how you doing, Chris?
Hey, John, good morning. Doing fantastic.
Good. We got a project here. I'm anxious to get my hands involved in it.
We are ready to roll, John. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and airbrush
All
Stupid
right.
Money right onto the rug. So
Very
we're
good.
We're going to put it right in the middle. So I'd like to recruit your help in this project.
Well, let's do it.
I've got some hot water here. Let me get the water and we'll start mixing up some color. Oh, about maybe half an ounce or so.
Okay. And what are you using to stir that up?
Oh, I was going to see if you would stick your finger in there and stir it for me.
I thought you would.
It's pretty hot, so we're going to use that plastic brush to do that.
This over here?
That's the one. Okay, got us all centered there.
Well, I wouldn't guarantee it, but it looks like it's kind of like building a house. They make a mistake. Oh, you won't see it.
Okay, so watch how I do this, John, because I'm going to turn it over to you here in just a little bit.
So you want me to go in circular motion?
Circular motion, and then if you see any lighter areas here, we're going to do just a quick little
Just
touch.
try to blend it in.
All right, it's all
I'm
yours.
going to put this thing right here.
Go ahead and brush the fibers. Helps distribute that color. Okay, good. So now we've got a first coat of color on there. So let me brush it in and then we're gonna go over it again to even it out. Now this is a brand new rug, and any brand new carpet or rug comes with a stain guard on it, a stain protection. That stain guard is really designed to prevent the carpet from becoming stained. Well, what we're doing right now is we're staining it.
So
we're
it-
just staining it in a very controlled manner.
So it's really not doing a very good job.
Not really. We're doing a better job than the stain guard is. I think I heard you mention earlier that you're a musician.
Oh, I'll do a little bit.
Well, I want to put your musical skills to work here.
All right.
That is, I need you to give me a drum roll.
A drum roll.
Drum roll. Ready? Go. Cymbal.
Wow!
Yeah, look at that.
Awesome.
That's the original color that this rug used to be.
So this is guaranteed not to fade.
Absolutely, absolutely. What I want to do next is we're going to actually vacuum this to remove some of that excess moisture. That's going to lighten it and cause the color to even out.
Okay, S-T-U-P-I-D. We want to make sure it's spelled right.
What is the story behind the name, Stupid Money?
It's about the crazy things people have done with their money. By the way, have you ever done anything stupid with your money?
Oh, you better believe it. I sure have. I can remember when I first started the business, I had the idea I'd like to do some TV advertising. So I did some very, very expensive advertising on NBC television. We filmed a professional commercial, and in fact, I even wrote the jingle for it. I felt like Barry Manilow writing a little jingle. And we ran this TV commercial, and John, it cost us $3,000 a week. And I just barely got my money back. So I feel like that was something stupid that I did. You know what I did is
Well, at least you didn't lose anything.
actually we made our money back on it, but I look back on it, what I did was I targeted the wrong market for it.
I see. So there's not a great market for staining and dyeing carpet.
Oh, there is. There's a huge market for it. There's a huge market. We had an article written about us years ago in the Washington Post newspaper. And when that article came out, in the first 2 days, we had over 250 phone calls from people who wanted us to come and help them with their carpets and rugs. So there's a tremendous market for it.
So whenever you have done crazy things with your money, stupid things with your money, what have you learned from that?
Not to do it again. I learned
Experience is the best teacher.
to seek the advice of people that have more experience. Nobody knows how to do everything. So by talking with people that had more experience, tapping into their expertise, that really helped me to avoid making the same mistake all over again.
Even doing that, sometimes it is hard for us to follow their advice because Seems like us humans, we always want to experience and, oh yeah, we know how to do this.
I think the lesson that I've learned, and I've shared this with a lot of people in the trainings that I do all over the world, I would rather make mistakes and learn from them than to never make mistakes and never learn.
Looks good.
That looks pretty good to me.
As we were working on the Stupid Money logo, I knew exactly where I was going to put it, right in front of my bathroom sink. So every morning, I would remind myself not to do something stupid with my money. I know you have a religious theological background. Have you ever drawn some spiritual analogies from some of the work you do?
Absolutely. You made me think of a situation that happened a few years ago. I was driving down the road and I came to an intersection, a very busy intersection, and there was a beggar standing there. And as he was approaching the car, I did what basically everybody else around me was doing, is I pretended that I didn't see him. So I just kind of was on my phone and looking straight ahead, and he came up to the window, and out of the corner of my eye I could see him begging, and I just pretended like I didn't see him. But then as he walked by, I found myself looking in my rearview mirror watching him, and I thought to myself, wow, did you really just do that? He was obviously in need, he was crippled and all hunched over. So I tooted the horn, got his attention, he came back, pulled out my wallet, opened up my wallet, and I took out, I don't know, $2 or $3 and went to hand it to him. And I thought to myself, you're still doing it. You're being selfish. I think I had like $50 in my wallet. So I thought to myself, you've got more money. You've got money in the bank. You have your own, your own work. So I took out all the money that I had and I gave it to him. Meanwhile, the cars behind me were leaning on their horn. I just ignored them. I gave him everything that I had. And it felt really good. His eyes filled up with tears as he thanked me. And he left and I drove off. You know what happened, John? From there, I went to do a consultation for a commercial client and landed the single biggest contract that our company has ever received.
Wow.
And we still have that contract today.
Wow.
You cannot outgive God.
That's true. What a story. Powerful
So
story.
my stupid money was I almost didn't give him anything. But when I gave, what I received in return was just huge.
So it's kind of stupid not to give back.
The Bible tells us if we give, we'll receive. God says, test me. See if I don't open the windows of heaven and give you back more than you can even contain. So that was, just
So did you
tremendous experience.
ever see that beggar after that?
You know,
on the
I
streets?
have seen him since, and I think he remembers me because he always comes up to my car now, but I'm happy to help him out.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. God has been at work with me in this business since the day that I opened the doors. I've committed it to Him. Everything that I own belongs to God.
So what do you mean everything you own belongs to God?
Everything that I own is on loan from Him. It all belongs to Him. What I've been able to do is, with the success that God has blessed our company with, we've been able to sponsor some children through World Vision. We participate in mission trips around the world.
What part of the world do you go on?
The islands. The islands of Micronesia. Micronesia is about halfway between Hawaii and Australia. It's one of the most beautiful parts of the world. So I usually have a trip there every year. I'm a youth leader with an organization called Canvasback Missions, and I lead youth teams to to the islands where we do projects to renovate churches and schools, and we travel with medical teams.
So giving back is very much a part of not only your business, but who you are. He really cared about people. It really was about ministry.
Carpets and rugs, as much as I enjoy the work that we do, carpets and rugs pays the bills. But my heart is really in the mission work. Helping other people is by far the most rewarding thing that I can think of.
Okay, you do the top word, and I'll do the bottom word.
Okay, let's make sure that hose
Or unless
stays
you
there.
want to do the bottom word, and I'll do the stupid word.
Yep. We want to make sure they're laying flat so that we don't get any dye going under the letter, which would make it look blurry.
So how long will this take to dry?
Probably it'd be dry in about an hour or so. Won't take very long at all.
And then that's done.
Then it's done. So we want to put down enough color so that when we lift off the letters, that there's a definite,
It'll jump out at you.
a definite distinction. But we don't want to go so dark that it looks like the outer edge. Okay, so you see how I've done
Yeah,
that?
I see. It looks nice.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you. You ready?
Let's see if I can fix the word money.
Yep. So again, be careful if you get too close. We don't want to have the air pressure blow these letters off
Okay,
of
so
the
I'm going to
fibers.
stay about right like
Right
that.
about like that is good. There you go. Looking good.
I like it.
Oh, I think it's going to look awesome. I'll tell you, John, I don't think there's anything stupid about this. I think it's going to turn out fantastic.
Well, it'll be a good conversation piece. When I saw the Stupid Money logo appear on this rug, I couldn't help but get excited.
Set them out of the way. Oh, I like it. What do you think?
That is really cool. Really
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Now this rug says something. Let's hold it up.
Here is your new rug.
It's so cool.
Stupid Money. I like it.
And the things people do with it.
Thanks so much for coming by. and
All
I
right, you're
sure do
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
all
you
your
for
help with
taking
this
some
project.
time and showing us the process of dyeing carpet and sharing with us what you've done stupid with your money and how God has worked with you over the years, and may you have many more.
Thanks so much. My pleasure.
When your life has a stain on it, remember, Jesus covers it. Until next time, don't do stupid things with your money.